Dear students and viewers, Assalamu alaikum. The topic for today's lecture is giving suggestions at the end of a presentation. So, it is very important if you are going to give a presentation, you should know how to end it. As far as importance of giving suggestions at the end of a presentation is concerned, you can end a presentation. You have given a very good presentation. At the end of that presentation, you say, well, that was it. That was what I have to say. I had to say. I thank you for your attention and things like that. These are conventional kind of sentences, but these do not have value because you were there. You gave a presentation because you wanted to have an impact. You wanted to give a message of your own to the people. And if you wanted to give a message to the people, there should be some suggestions at the end of your presentation. If there aren't any suggestions, then you are going to fail. The presentation, it is not going to be successful. So it is very important to give these suggestions at the end of a presentation when the viewers, when the people, audience that are listening to you, they will go out of that room where you gave a presentation. They will not only praise you, rather they will also have in their mind whatever your message was. So clarity of message needs you to give some suggestions and recommendations at the end of a presentation. Today I'm going to tell you how you can do it. So let's start it. First of all, I told you earlier there are different kind of presentations, and suggestions for every kind of presentation can be different. First of all, business presentations. You have given a presentation about business. For example, you have given a presentation about your car industry or any business. Your car industry is going down, it is declining, and now you give a presentation about how to boost it up, how to give it strength once again. So at the end of that presentation, you will surely give suggestions, and you will say that as we are declining, we are low on budget, we need to decrease the number of employees, or we should build some new models of our cars, we should build some racing cars to make our company famous, and things like that. So these suggestions are for car industry. There can be many more, and there can be other suggestions also for other businesses as well. So you have to give it at the end of your presentation if you are giving a business presentation. Students, the next one is research result presentations. So if you are you have conducted some research and you will give a presentation at the end of your research results, you will also give some suggestions because you conducted that research to get some corrections. You do not like something else and you want to correct it, so you give so you conducted a research. So those suggestions are the most important things at the end of your research work. For example, nowadays the tomatoes and mangoes, a year ago from now, tomatoes were sold for 350 rupees per kilo in Pakistan. 350 rupees per kilo. And this year the farmers in Pakistan, most of the farmers, they planted tomato plants because they thought that the tomato crop will give them a lot of benefit. So there were a lot of tomatoes. The government did not do anything else to find any international market to export those tomatoes. The tomatoes that were 350 rupees per kilo the previous year are now being sold for 5 rupees per kilo, and the farmers, they have a lot of loss. So they are feeling that agony Likewise, the mangoes are not being exported to the other countries this year, and the farmers have problems. You have conducted research about the problems of the farmers. So at the end of that presentation, you will also give relevant suggestions how the government should react in such kind of things, how it should try to find markets, how should it try to gather data about the crops being planted in the country in different provinces and things like this. These suggestions will be very helpful, and it will make your research proposal, research work successful. Number 3 are the instructional presentations. You have given some instructions to the people. For example, a swimming lesson, you have given a presentation about safety lectures, how to save yourself in different conditions, or about COVID-19, coronavirus pandemic. So we take COVID-19. So you have given a presentation. At the end of that presentation, you will give suggestions. For example, you will say that if you go out of your house, you will have to wear a mask. You should not go out without a mask. You should have some gloves. You should drink hot water. You should keep social distance. You should not touch anything else out of your house, and other such suggestions. These are necessary for your presentation to be successful. Number 4, church sermons and political debates. If you are giving a church sermon or ending a political debate, you should give relevant suggestions at the end to get the most out of your presentation. Because if you are a politician, you have given a long presentation, you have got some expectations, you want to change the behavior, the thoughts of the people, and you will be successful in doing that if you give suggestions. And if you are giving a church sermon, at the end of your sermon presentation, you will give suggestions to people to change their way of life, to turn over a new leaf, and things like that. It will be what you wanted from your presentation. So these were the suggestions or that you give at the end of a presentation. There are also some recommendations. You have given a very good presentation. At the end of that presentation, you will give some recommendations as well. For example, you will recommend your viewers, your audience, some books, the books that will be helpful for them to gain more knowledge about that particular subject. You will refer those books. You can also refer to some videos about some good speakers, about some individuals from your own walk of life, and the people, they will watch and listen to those videos, and they will gain a lot from that. Then you can recommend some reports, the government reports, the reports of some social organizations, research institutions, that will further support your arguments, the arguments given in your presentation. And you can also recommend some research works to the people who want to study more about that particular topic. And these are the things, the suggestions and the recommendations at the end of a presentation that make your presentation a successful presentation. So students, you have to take notes, write all the main points, and you will be given a written assignment at the end of this chapter. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.